What's up, vinyl community? It's your boy Chris. As those of you on Instagram know me as @Tunes for the Man Cave. I thought for this video in particular, real quick rundown, some of our recent finds, a couple of them missing, but I feel like I have enough to run through a quick video of some very recent finds for you guys. Jumping right into it on the turntable, hopefully barely audible for you guys. Led Zeppelin, 3 days after, 2 LP bootleg, June 3rd, 1973, Los Angeles Forum concert. Pretty solid bootleg. I like it. I certainly don't have as many Zeppelin bootlegs as a couple of my contemporaries on here. Shout out to @CMJ Vinyl, Noble Records, HGA Vinyl. All three of those guys probably have more than me. I have a decent amount. I'm positive they have more. I'm really positive at least one of them or two of them have more. All right, getting right into it. Recent finds, recent buys, recent purchases. Goody Mob, Soul Food, Southern hip hop classic, guys. And if you're Southern, as I clearly am, man, this is right there, like Southern Playlistic Cadillac Music is like one of the two albums that really defined Southern hip hop and really got it started. I mean, the term Dirty South was coined on this album, and this is killer. Both members of Outkast on the album. CeeLo goes insane on this album, which is really both awesome and heartbreaking both at the same time, because now all he goes insane on is petting cats on national television, on music talent shows, sitting next to Christina Aguilera. And it's just a damn shame, because this is what we want. This is what we want, CeeLo. This is what we want. And by we, meaning real music fans. With the contingent that you have watching that show, I mean, yeah, I'm sure it puts a nice little coin in your pocket, but it's certainly not art. It's far from it. This is what we want, CeeLo. Holler at your boy when you get back to that. I know you don't know who I am nor care who I am, but damn, I wish you'd get back to spitting rhymes, because that shit you're doing over there on NBC or whatever network it is on that show that I don't watch is... All right, next up, Charlie Mingus Town Hall concert. To be honest with you, I'd never seen this one before. Never really even heard of this one before, but I do know I love Charlie Mingus, and I do know that it was in the used jazz bin at my favorite record store, at Lunchbox Records on Instagram. Lunchbox Records, beautiful. Charlotte, North Carolina. I talk about it a lot on here. I'm sure you guys are going to hear plenty more of it. Charlie Mingus Town Hall concert, $8 used, and again, it's Mingus, $8. Can you really go wrong? I don't think so. I went ahead and Tonto jumped on it. Next up, Miles Davis, On the Corner. Guys, the longer I've been into vinyl, the longer I've been into music, the more that I've started to, to really go for the reissues, especially on the well done ones, on the audiophile ones, on the original master tape ones. If you can show me a well done, well treated reissue from original analog tapes or whatnot, guys, I'm all over it. Especially for some of these jazz albums where the originals are just insane prices. I'm yet to throw this one on the table. Just grabbed it the other day, the same time I grabbed the Mingus at Lunchbox Records. I'm yet to throw it on the table, but music on vinyl, I've got a few reissues from them, and everything I've ever played from them, everything I've ever heard from them is great. So I'm expecting great things when I finally do get a chance to throw this one on the table. Miles Davis, On the Corner, audiophile, 180 gram. Next up, again, from the reissue front and from the jazz front, Charlie Mingus. Mingus. I might have left the Mingus out of there. Quite possible. If I did, don't be a douche about it. Anyway, This is a killer album. I've always wanted a reissue. It's one that I've sought after. Excuse me, I really wanted an original. I've sought after an original of it for years. Never have been able to find one for a price I could live for. Never have stumbled upon one in a record store, or else I would have absolutely bought it. But this is supposed to be a well cared for reissue, and it was 18 bucks. This is definitely going to hold me until I can finally stumble across that good sounding original one day for a really good price, and it's got a bonus track on it, and I love Charlie Mingus. So I'm going to give this one a shot, see what I think of it. Those of you close friends of me, maybe one of you guys will be lucky enough to have me give this to you one day, or trade it to you one day when I finally close the deal on one of those sought after originals. Next, Ornette Coleman. The music of Ornette Coleman. Something else. Several exclamation points just to slam home the point that this is a killer jazz record. And again, this is a reissue. Every so often, I know most of your favorite record stores probably do this, but Lunchbox will go through and they'll just price down a lot of these albums, get them out of the way, make room for some new inventory. Ornette Coleman is killer, guys. He's a legend. And I mean, you know, Don Cherry plays on this, Walter Norris on the piano, Don Payne, Billy Higgins on the drums. It's a killer record. I'm proud to own it. I will gladly bolt for an original at a decent price for a great sound in the event that I find it. But for now, again, this will hold me, especially for $14.99. I mean, geez. I mean, you're not going to find, if you find an original jazz album in good condition for $14.99, it's probably not worth a shit. True story. Next up, Donald Byrd, A New Perspective. I was actually holding this one in my hand along with a Alice Coltrane album, and I was trying to narrow it down. I always grab every album I'm interested in, and then once I've grabbed every album I'm interested in, I go through the math. I add the tax in, everything in my head. I think how much it's going to cost. I'm like, okay. I usually end up coming with, okay, that price is not going to do. Like one or two of these records have to go. And then I narrow it down. Separate, here's my stack of my must-haves. Here's my stack of can live withouts, and then I go from there. So I get down to this Donald Byrd record and Alice Coltrane. And so my tiebreaker is the personnel on the albums. So I'll go through the personnel. Donald Byrd obviously on the trumpet. Donald Best on vibes, Herbie Hancock on the piano, Butch Warren on the bass, Lex Humphries on the drums, and then, so guys, basically what it is you got Hank Mobley, one of my absolute favorite tenor sax players, Kenny Burrell on the guitar, one of my absolute favorite jazz guitarists, and you've got the iconic Herbie Hancock on the piano. So this one wins in the tiebreaker. I will grab that Alice record next time. Couldn't pass. $17.99. Again, it's a reissue, but hey, man, it's in great condition. I'm sure I'm going to love it. I haven't had a chance to throw it on the table yet. Okay, next up, absolutely not an original. Coltrane. Original pressing, stereo, Impulse. Looks to be in phenomenal condition. Another one that I haven't had an opportunity to throw on the table yet. But guys, you know, it's Coltrane. Coltrane's my favorite jazz musician of all time, for those of you who did not know it. It's got Elvin Jones on the drums. It's got Jimmy Garrison on the bass. It's got McCoy Tyner, one of my favorite jazz pianists, on the piano. And all of that's just a throw-in because it's John Coltrane. I will buy anything John Coltrane. So, really excited about this. The sleeve's in perfect condition, no splits, nothing on the seams. I mean, and I got it for like 12 bucks on eBay as the winner of an auction. And it's hard to beat that, guys. Original Impulse, John Coltrane. Thrilled to win that one. Next up, Pharoah Sanders, Love Will Find a Way. Pharoah Sanders is one of the great, in my opinion, also underrated. I mean, he played with the Coltranes. I mean, he played with I mean, he played with plenty of legends. He's legendary in and of himself. He murders the instruments. I mean, he's phenomenal in every way, but very few people mention him in the same sentence as some of your obvious jazz legends. And this was not even one of his more sought-after albums, but I won it on an eBay auction for $2.99. Couldn't pass. This in great condition, except for some douche who wrote their name on the front of it and then decided to circle it. I'd show you here, but really you're not going to be able to see here, I don't think. For you guys, for your view, it looks perfectly normal. For my view, it looks like a douchebag that decided to write their, I guess, last name, because I don't know many people first name Johnson, on the front of the sleeve and then circle it. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I appreciate it, but I got it for $3. So I'm going to decide to ignore your douchery for now, because I'm sure the record sounds great. Next up. This one right here kind of pissed me off just a little. Not because of the record, of course. It's the Hank Mobley Quartet. 10-inch. Reissue. All that's wonderful. I love Hank Mobley. This album's got Horace Silver on the piano. It's got Doug Watkins on the bass. It's got the immortal Art Blakey on the drums. All that's great. But the listing on eBay from a seller by the name of Import CDs, because yes, I am going to put them on blast for this, had this listed. The picture in the background was of this album with a Japanese OBI on the side for $15. So I love Hank Mobley. I love Art Blakey. I love Japanese pressings. And even better than all that, I love all of those above for an original, for a really good price. And this comes in the mail, and it's totally just a Blue Note reissue US 10-inch vinyl. I chose not to fret about it, even though I really want to. But when your picture is of a Japanese pressing with the OBI on the side, that's what we're expecting, eBay sellers. So to you, Import CDs, and really, because they're never going to see this, but for you vinyl buyers, maybe just don't buy from Import CDs. And I mean, because I'm here to tell you, that was very disappointing for me. I just knew that I just secured a great Hank Mobley 10-inch Japanese pressing for $15, and I was thrilled. And it's not to say that I'm not still happy, because my goodness, I love Hank Mobley, but damn, a Japanese pressing would have been so much better for $15 especially. So Import CDs, maybe do a better job updating your photos, your descriptions. And for those of you who are shopping for vinyl on eBay, maybe don't make the mistake that I made and buy from a seller with CDs in the title. Because obviously if they put CDs in the title, and nobody even gives a shit about CDs anymore, but if they put CDs in the title, probably what they specialize in, they probably don't even know anything about this. They probably just had it laying around. Here's a picture on Google Images. Let's click, paste. Who cares whether or not it has the Japanese OB or not, whether or not it's false advertising. I sent them a message complaining about it. They have not responded. I decided not to request a refund. As of now, I'm still within my window, but Hank Mobley Quartet. I love Hank Mobley. Speaking of me loving Hank Mobley, next up, High Voltage. Hank Mobley. Original Blue Note. Again, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful deal on eBay. This one actually is what it says it is. Blue Mitchell plays on this, guys. Love Blue Mitchell. Jackie McLean, John Hicks, Bob Cranshaw, Billy Higgins. Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal album in my honest opinion. Mobley's, by this point, he's really starting to master the tenor sax, and it's a phenomenal record. I highly recommend it if you guys ever come across it. Next up, we're going to get into some Vinyl Me Please stuff. I already shared one with you guys. Another Vinyl Me Please record of the month for this month. Arctic Monkeys, Whatever People Say I Am. That's what I'm not. And it's one of those things where I had heard this album before when it came out. I liked it enough, sure. But really, guys, for the most part, pretty much anything after like 1999, really, I'm not usually that huge of a fan of. You've really got to impress me. But the last time I heard it was on CD several years ago. I remember liking it. I don't remember loving it. I'm going to give it another listen on this beautiful Vinyl Me Please colored wax. See what I think of it. I know it's on Rolling Stone's Top 500 Albums of All Time list. But, again, I like the Arctic Monkeys. Don't get it twisted, some of you guys who might be watching this. But I remember the album. I remember liking the CD, but not loving it the first time I heard it. And that's the only time I've ever heard it. So, looking forward to giving it another spin. I usually don't swap. I usually take what they set up and hope I discover some gems. And looking forward to throwing this one on. Next up, William Bell, The Soul of a Bell. Vinyl Me Please Classic subscription. These days, guys, I subscribe to the Vinyl Me Please Record of the Month. I subscribe to the Vinyl Me Please Hip Hop, which has been fire lately, as evidenced by my Goody Mob for this month and my Erykah Badu from last month. It's been fire. I think Snoop Dogg's next month, they're really bringing it. But I also subscribe to the Vinyl Me Please Classics. Vinyl Me Please is going to break me, I think, guys, before it's all said and done. A lot of you may not know who William Bell is. It's called The Soul of a Bell. It's on Stax Records, which really should be enough for any of you soul aficionados in the event that you indeed don't know who he is. But I haven't had a chance to throw this one on yet, but I have heard the album. Obviously, I have heard some of the songs. I am familiar with William Bell. But in the event that you are not, you really be doing yourself a favor to look him up. William Bell, The Soul of a Bell, on Stax Records. So, yep, that's it. Getting a video done in under 20 minutes, excuse me. I hope all you guys are gearing up for a great record store day. I know I am. I'm sure I'll have a video to come out with you guys for my RSD finds. I've heard a lot of people bitching, pissing and moaning about how their RSD's got nothing going for them. But then I look at their Instagram profiles and it's obvious to me why, because they post nothing but one genre. And I guess when you only like one genre of music, I guess it's easy to see how it is an event like Record Store Day could have nothing for you. Because if you like one genre and they don't have much of that genre, or when they do have that genre you already have, it's easy to shit all over it. But for a guy like me who loves literally every genre of music, literally, I'll always spend a couple of $100 on Record Store Day, guys. Always. I almost always do. And I'm planning on doing it again this year. I'm sure you guys will get a video for me this time next week. I hope you guys find everything it is that you're looking for. And I hope you don't have to settle for the eBay flip whores. I'm being nice here. That are going to jack up the price times 4. Because in the event that you have to do that, just don't do it. Because that's the only way we're going to put an end to things like this. But good luck on Record Store Day, you guys. I'm sure I'll have a video for you sometime shortly thereafter. You'll probably have another video or two from me before then. Happy hunting. And as always, follow me on @TunesForTheManCave on Instagram. Check out my prior videos to this one. And keep dropping that needle, you guys. Peace. Love.